This is We Need Rent Money, presented by Zoom. Zoom, Zoom, Zoom. Do-do-do, do-do-do.
You
Zoom, Zoom, Zoom.
you get sponsored by them a little bit?
No, not yet. They can have my voice. It's terrible. So we're here this evening with Mr. Schwab, Michael Schwab, Mike Schwab. What do you like to be called? Either one.
Schwabinski. That's what I usually go by.
Schwabisky.
No,
Schwabisky, he plays Professor Fabio Flip Flap in my movie We Need Rent Money. Thank you for coming on the show, sir.
Yeah, nice to be here.
Awesome, awesome. Yeah, man, like what we're doing is we're letting our audience get a better taste of our actors as people than their wacky characters in this movie. So that's the
Cool.
whole point of all this. So first question, man. What got you into acting?
A lot of things. I think playing pretend is just a healthy thing for anybody to do, to be honest. I think it's fun to be different characters and connect. It's a good way to connect with people and to create things with people. So I think anybody really should act a little bit. I mean, you might not want to be professional or whatever, but you should. It's good to do. Yeah, it just seemed like a fun thing to do. And then I mostly got started here in Eugene through a group called No Shame Eugene.
Okay.
I don't know if you've heard about these guys. It's a really cool thing, Eugene, because it's an open mic theater group. It's a way to encourage people to go for it. It's called No Shame for a reason. You know, it's no shame in getting up there and doing some performing arts thing.
I mean, we're all actors. Just some are better than others.
I'd say so. But yeah, No Shame's been great. And so
is it still going today?
Oh yeah, they're gonna have their 11-year anniversary coming up next month. There's a
big shout out to No Shame.
Yeah, big ups to No Shame Eugene. It's a national group. It started in Iowa, I think 20 years ago or something, 30 years, I don't know, something a long time ago.
Wow, and now they're all the way out here in the Northwest.
Yeah, they've propagated all around, and a group of people here, Jeff Geiger and Timothy and a few other people, when they moved out to Eugene, they were like, hey, we were involved with this stuff back where we were from, and it'd be great to have in Eugene. And they got it going. I don't think they had any idea that, or they would have guessed it would have lasted this long, but it's been real successful. Yeah, it was a good way for me to get started with performing arts and see what it was like, and I realized I enjoyed it. I actually was more interested in stand-up comedy. That's how I kind of got started. And then I heard about the group from Leanne Jashaway. She does a cool comedy class through Lane.
Awesome.
I took the class with her.
I'm going to ask you for those links, when we're done with the interview, so people that are in Eugene that want to check it out.
Yeah. So, yeah, she heard about the No Shame group, and she sent an email out. It's like, oh, yeah, I'll go check them out. And then, I tried some comedy sketches, and this was like 10 years ago. And so I started by trying some of that, and then it just progressed from there. I did bunch of comedy sketches, and then eventually I was like, oh, it'd be fun to just like film this stuff and like create little movies out of it. And so that's kind of the progression. I heard about the community television station here in town.
Awesome.
CTV is great for Eugene. It's it's really cheap. It's a great little studio.
$10.
$10 a year.
Can't beat that. I mean,
that's what we do.
It's like like a Buymark card.
Right.
So, do you remember your first project, and what did you learn?
I mean, what do you mean, like my first film project that I created, or
created, or you were in? You didn't have to create it.
As far as film goes,
not just film, acting. Period.
Acting. Period. I don't know, 5th grade or something.
Fifth grade play. You played a tree.
The first film. I mean, when I lived in LA before here, and the ironic thing is I wasn't into theater or film when I was there.
Which that's crazy.
Yeah.
That's that's the place to be.
Yeah, I just had some extra time on my hands, and And I was like, oh, it'd be interesting to be an extra because I heard that they, they're always looking for extras, and I I was pretty young. They're looking for younger guys, and I had time on my hands, so I got registered with a casting agency down there, and I started to get some pretty cool extra jobs. I started with Boston Legal.
Nice.
Got the yeah, that's a pretty cool first job.
Yeah, for sure.
All right, Mike, sit up. They need you Boston Legal. I'm like, all right.
So you just walk back and forth like on
Yeah,
the street.
it was funny. They would call us background talent. It's like, all right, talent, do your thing. Like, it's real talent to stand up and walk. It's not really on my acting resume ability to.
You can't walk too fast, man.
Yeah, it took several takes to get it right.
So what did you learn from all that? There's no job on film that is too small, right? Everything is important, right?
Yeah. You want to take it seriously when you're doing it. But being an extra down there, it's fun for a little bit. I found that the first 2 hours you're there, you're like, this has been cool. Met some people, get to participate, and then like by hour 10, and you've been on your second book, whatever, waiting for your thing. It's like, okay, I think I'm good here. But so there is a lot of hanging out and waiting around, and so some of that wasn't the most fun, but it was still interesting.
Hashtag actor life.
Right. But I learned a lot about being involved with the process, how it works. I did see, what else did I do that was interesting? I was on 24.
Really?
I was
Jack Bauer.
That was a different story in the sense that I knew somebody who owned a fire truck that Hollywood uses.
Wow.
So there's only two guys, at the time there were only two guys around there who owned fire trucks. That when some Hollywood producer needed one, they would call it one of these guys, and he was like, "Hey, Mike, they need me on 24, and they need some people to pretend to be firefighters. You want to be in this?" I was like, "Hell yeah, I'll do it."
So you put on the whole get up. Did you get to go down? Did you get to go down a pole?
No, I didn't get to go down the pole, unfortunately. But I was like spraying something down in the background.
Nice. I want to go. I'd probably go back and watch 24 and see that. You remember what season that was? No.
I wish I did.
Right on. So you're also a writer. You've written over 40 comedy sketches, 3 plays.
I think I've done more than that now.
And 2 films. How is writing a play?
The resume hasn't been updated, but
how is a play different from writing sketch or a film?
Well, there's more to the character. There's more of a development in a play. Like, even like a short play, the character should change in some way. There should be some growth, a process that the hero is getting through. A sketch is usually a setup to a punchline, more or less. It's a joke in a short play format. So, I mean, I like them both. Sometimes you just have an idea for some sort of funny, thing to put together. That doesn't take too much time, but the other times you want to actually develop a story and have a hero, go through some stuff and change in some way. And so, they're both cool. It's just, it depends on what you want to do, how much time you want to spend. Like, sketch, you can knock it out. And
I mean, that's still very impressive. 40 comedy sketches. You're saying it's maybe now like 60?
No, I've done, like I said, I've been in No Shame for like 10 years, just cranking that stuff out.
That's quite a lot, man. Out of all of them, what was your favorite sketch and why?
That's tough. Now, the one, well,
I'm getting better at interviewing.
No, I would say, I mean, that's hard, but I think the first one I did was, stands out because, it was the first time I did it, and we had a great time, and it kicked off. I mean, I'm not saying it's the best one, but it's the one that I'm most connected to in the sense that it turned this light on for me.
What was it called?
It was a Christmas thing. It was Santa and Mrs. Claus get a divorce.
Okay.
And so, a friend of mine, we ended up doing a bunch of sketches together, but it was it was an R-rated comedy sketch. It took this traditional Santa story and turned it not so kid friendly, but we had a great time, and the audience really enjoyed it, and that feeling of like we put it together, and you could tell the audience was into it, and they had a great time. Like that was
That must have felt
feeling.
good, you know.
It was, and it was just supposed to be a one-time thing, but then we started thinking like, well, this story is not over. Like,
No, I mean, obviously, did they have kids? Obviously, the kids were the elves, right? So who got custody of the kids?
The story ended with Santa storming off. He's like, Rudolph, get the hell out of here. We're going to the Bahamas. This lady's crazy, and this, North Pole sucks.
I mean, but you could have had a part too.
But there was. So there ended up being like 7 sketches. Like this, what started out was just like a little thing, turned into this ongoing thing, and people at No Shame, like the regulars would anticipate like what's going to happen next in this story, because
that's awesome, man.
I did actually start writing it as a feature length film, because I started putting together. It's like, oh, this is actually a longer story, which at some point maybe I will go back to that, but I've got other things in my mind. But it was fun to see how it progressed, like from end of that sketch, and then a little bit later, okay, what's going to happen now, and like piece this thing together. And after a while, I just wanted to end, and so it was like, we want to move on to something else. How are we going to wrap this up? But
exactly, it's just like me and Samson said. Like, if a big studio gave us a lot of money to do We Need Bail money, and these kids go to jail,
right?
And I bring back all my characters. But like after that, I don't want to do it again. What, they need child support money? They it could go on and on and on. That's why I like that 22 Jump Street at the end of 22 Jump Street. They make fun of, like, they do cooking school, 22. I don't know if you've seen 22 Jump Street. Very funny movie. Yeah, so you also did commercials. One being RMA Kung Fu. Did you learn Kung Fu for that commercial?
I had been doing Kung Fu with RMA I did it for like 5 years, I think, over there. And then they were shooting the commercial, and they needed some of us, and it was a cool experience. I got to use our skills that we've been working on.
You break some boards.
What's that?
You break some boards with your hand.
Unfortunately, no board breaking.
No board breaking.
I don't know if that's a part of Kung Fu, to be honest. That's just karate. I was in a few different commercials. What else was I in? I was in Travel Lane County. That was my favorite one. Because,
really? That probably had some budget to it, huh?
Yeah. It was the greatest job I ever had, because over 2 days I got paid to go jack around. Like the first day we went to Oak Ridge. We mountain biked up around Oak Ridge, and then we went up to Willamette Pass, took the ski lift up in the summer, and just had a picnic up top. And
then paid you to have fun.
Yeah, and then the next day went to Florence. We were riding dune buggies.
What?
Like, dude, this is a job. Like, how do I make this all the time?
Actor's life, man. Sometimes the roles are standing out in the rain.
Yeah, not everyone is that.
Near Prefontaine's Rock, and sometimes you're having picnics, So no, that's awesome, man. I'm glad you had a great experience.
I had some people like recognize me about it. That was pretty cool, and some people were like giving me shit about it. Like,
screw
you were in charge of the tourism industry. We're screwed, that kind of thing. But
no, the tourist industry is great. If you want to come to Oregon, you want to hike, you want to go out, you want to see beautiful stuff, it's all here, man. So,
yeah, that's what the point of the commercial was. Is all this cool stuff we got in the area.
That's awesome. What could you say about my movie, We Need Rent Money? Obviously, without giving too much away.
It's a real serious film. It's makes you think about. It's a wild adventure, man. I love that kind of stuff. I love fun, wild characters, and
We shot that whole movie in 35 days.
That's impressive. You got after it.
Over the
Airbnb thing.
Oh, the Airbnb, which Rob would call the nightmare. Yes, it was a nightmare.
I mean, you had some bad moments, but you had some good stuff, right? Good times, right?
Yeah. So, we'll just leave it at that. I can't give too much away. You're also running a film community here in Eugene called Lane County Filmmakers that I'm a part of. Well, is there any other affiliations you'd like to speak about too? Or would you like to speak more about Lane County Filmmakers? We just got a new member today, so.
Sweet. We should have, I don't know, do something for new members, like some sort of like an initiation. Okay.
Yeah. A haze. If they don't make a video by the end of the month, they're out. They're kicked out. Survivor.
Well, I'm not really running the group, but I was part of the initial administrators. Yeah. It's been kind of weird that Eugene hasn't had a great film community, because I feel like there's a lot of potential here. I mean, it's not a big city, but it's big enough that the arts are big here. Theater's big.
It's a little Portland.
It's a little Portland. We've got all these great locations. We've got creative people, and then there's been some film at the U of O and Lane, but there hasn't.
Businesses are very receptive to letting you come in and film.
Yeah,
Pegasus was really cool about it. A tattoo shop was really cool about it. All I needed was a student to go to U of O, to get a classroom.
Yeah, people were cool about creative stuff in general here. But yeah, we were just thinking it's kind of unfortunate there hasn't been some more collaboration, more of a developing community. The Eugene Film Society is cool. They've done good things in the community, but they haven't been out trying to like build a community. It's more about facilitating like the competition and stuff. And so we were like, let's start reaching out to people. There's got to be some people interested in connecting more and networking.
Yeah, I know everyone has their own little cliques, like Miles has his clique of people. I have my clique of people. You have your clique.
I mean, that's kind of natural.
Has his people, I mean, it's awesome to see everybody doing like amazing jobs on everything. And there needs to be more community out to everybody. And like you said, everyone needs extras on every project. That was a problem on mine. To get extras to show up for a party scene on the weekday, So I mean, it wasn't easy. So
you were trying to get this movie done for a while, right? Weren't you? Wasn't it a few years ago you were like reaching out on Facebook, seeing?
I had the idea of doing it. I wasn't ready to do it. Once Samson and I got serious about this film, after we got shut down by Blacklist on our film called Space Pimps, which Samson would say it's about pimps in space, and I would tell him it has to be more than that. It's about the 4 F's: family, friends, feminism, and fucking. So, and so we send that to Hollywood, this website called Blacklist. That's how Superbad was picked up. And you got to be somebody in the industry to get traction with a screenplay on that website. So
there's a lot of people out there competing, probably.
There's so many screenwriting contests, you name it, man. They're out there. There's so many sites you could submit your screenplay to, and they say they're going to give it to the right people and things could happen. But, let's be real. I told Samson, if we're going to get knowledge and people are going to take Space Pimps seriously, well, I don't know why they would, but I guess it's not serious. But
that sentence doesn't sound right.
But the best advice they gave us was, you guys went all the way on that ludicrous premise, which we did. We really did go all the way on that ludicrous premise. And, it was about a male feminist pimp that's forced into pimping. His dad runs this planet, and he wants to get off the planet, and he wants to be a hairstylist, and that's a job for hoes on the planet. So We'll just leave it at that, man. So yeah, so Samson tells me this true story about when he was living at Stadium Park, about how he was having trouble paying rent, and basically this drug dealer moved in, and then it turned out to be more about survival than just paying your rent. So,
And that's the
and
beginning.
that's the premise of We Need Rent Money. They actually at the beginning say it's based on some real shit. So true story. It really is. People are gonna be like, "Nah, that never happened. These guys are just out of their mind." But it happened. I have the proof. I have the people that lived in the house that are in the movie. That are in this movie.
Oh yeah.
Shout out to Russ and Sam Sprague and Russ. I forgot his last Durgan, whatever it is. But he played Calvin the Clown and also played an FBI agent named Hank Henry. And then Sam played the director of the FBI, which was what was his name? That's besides the point right now. Too many names to remember, man.
Awesome for them to participate in movies based on,
Yeah. Yeah, that's why, like, when they see this, I don't know how they're going to feel, but they obviously were proud to be a part of it, and a lot of them contribute a lot, and they were fantastic dudes. Shout out to those guys. Shout out to everybody in the cast and crew. Yeah, last question I got for you, Big Dog, is if you had an unlimited budget, do you have a project in mind? Money wasn't an issue. You won the Powerball. Would you make a feature?
Yeah, I mean, I'd like to do some features. If I had, I don't know, man. There's so many stories that'd be interesting. If it was unlimited, yeah, it would probably be something, space, Interstellar 2 type. I mean, if there was really nothing holding me back, you might as well go
balls to the wall.
But I got a couple screenplays I'm working on. One is based on the 2016 presidential election. It's not really using those characters, but it was based on the idea that so many people weren't happy with either candidates, and so
basically the whole South Park kind of joke. A douche and a turd sandwich.
Yeah, something like that. And so it was like, how far will people go to have a president that they want if the choices that are given to them aren't good? And so that's what I'm working on right now. So I mean, I'd like to turn that into something, at least get it written. I'm in about 40, 50 pages in. I started in the full length playwriting class at York in Contemporary Theater. I started putting this thing together, and I've been meaning to get back to it. But that's a project that I think that I want to do. I think it'd be relatable. It's about a lot of things in the about American culture in general. It's not just about that. It's about the whole politics, culture, and other things. And also it's just kind of a wild comedy too. So I'm having fun putting that together.
Nice.
So
I mean, 50 pages in. So it's going to be a feature or a play?
Yeah, this is I mean, I want to write it as both. Because I think.
What is a page count on a play usually? Because screenplay is usually 120.
I mean, I think it's pretty similar. I mean,
similar.
Yeah, I mean, it's like a page a minute, right?
See this board behind me? Remember the board?
Oh, that's it. I have a special connection with that thing.
I can't wait for you to be at my premiere and you sign this. It'll be an honor for you to sign this. So, yeah.
I can do that.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was a cool time, man. It was a short. Would have been nice to have a little more time to shoot that scene, but hey, that's part of the fun. And just we ain't got much time. Let's just do it.
Time is money, man. Especially when you're renting an Airbnb and then your actors are showing up and you don't want them to wait around. But
right.
But we pulled it off, man. Samson's a wild kid. So we'll just leave it at that. So, yeah, no, thank you for coming on my show. It's been a real honor. I think I bet people got a better idea of the man, the myth, the legend behind, what what we're doing here. And I thank you, Professor Fabio Flip-Flat. This has been We Need Rent Money, presented by Zoom. Zoom, Zoom, Zoom. Da-da-da-da-da-da.
Yes, dude, it's been great to be involved with the project, and I'm loving what you're doing. I'm excited about seeing the finished project and seeing where it goes.
I wouldn't have anyone else on this project. I love you, man.
All right.
Peace.
Goodbye.